Growing up watching Harry Potter, I remember finding the sorting hat to be very intriguing. How was it created, and how did it operate? In a bizarre world of magic where seemingly anything is possible, the sorting hat still sticks out as one of the strangest things floating around. From its physical appearance to its role of choosing the houses for students, it really is peculiar.
If you're watching this video, you probably already know what the sorting hat is, but if somehow you don't, it's basically just a filthy, old, frayed, dirty hat. The hat is extremely outspoken and is praised by professors and students alike for its uncanny ability to assign houses to Hogwarts students.
The primary function of the sorting hat at Hogwarts is to assign new students to one of the four houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. The hat is a sentient being that originally belonged to Godric Gryffindor, and the hat was actually produced by Godric and the other three founders of Hogwarts: Rowena Ravenclaw, Helga Hufflepuff, and Salazar Slytherin.
To perform its task, the hat uses Legitimacy, which is the art of magically navigating through a person's mind. Someone who is proficient at practicing Legitimacy is referred to as a Legilimens. Notable Legilimens include Severus Snape, Albus Dumbledore, and Voldemort himself. The hat will navigate the layers of the wearer's mind and, after careful consideration, announce its decision loudly so that all can hear.
After founding the school, the four founders encountered a bit of dilemma when it occurred to them that they would have to figure out a way to sort students by house when they were no longer alive. However, this dilemma was short-lived, as Godric Gryffindor quickly provided a solution to their problem. Godric pulled his completely normal hat off of his head and made the suggestion to the other founders that, using their collective magic, they enchant the hat and turn it into a sentient being. The founders of Hogwarts recognized that they each valued very different virtues which ended up leading to the defining attributes of each house. It was important to them that the houses they founded would continue to follow by the beliefs from which they were based. These virtues, or inherent characteristics, can be summed up in the sorting hat's own words.
By Gryffindor, the bravest were prized far beyond the rest. For Ravenclaw, the cleverest would always be the best. For Hufflepuff, hard workers were most worthy of admission, and power-hungry Slytherin loved those of great ambition.
Essentially, how it works is this. Upon placing the sorting hat on your head, it will begin to analyze your mind and place you in a house based on how closely you resemble one of the four founders. If the hat senses great bravery, Gryffindor is a likely choice. If the hat senses great intelligence, Ravenclaw is the likely choice. If the hat senses that someone is a hard worker, Hufflepuff is the likely choice. And finally, if the hat senses that someone is hungry for power, then Slytherin is the likely choice. It has been speculated that the hat has a tendency to place students in houses based on the qualities they value and not necessarily the qualities that they actively personify. Additionally, the hat can detect nascent qualities in a student and generally places them in the house that will challenge them the most, pushing their character to the test. A good example of this is Neville Longbottom.
Very rarely, every 50 years or so to be exact, a Hatstall will occur during the sorting hat ceremony. This is when the sorting hat needs additional time to come up with a decision. Usually it is considered a Hatstall when the decision takes 5 minutes or longer. This usually occurs when a student has a personality that could be considered equally suitable for each of the Hogwarts houses. In the case of this occurrence, the hat may take the student's personal preference into consideration for its decision. Known Hatstalls include Minerva McGonagall, who wavered between Gryffindor and Ravenclaw, and Peter Pettigrew, who wavered between Gryffindor and Slytherin. Despite Pettigrew betraying the Order of Phoenix and aiding Voldemort, the hat insisted that it had made the right choice. In fact, according to the hat, it has never made a mistake. The hat always backs its original decision, regardless of whether or not the student acts in accordance with the values of their assigned house. Near Hatstalls, encroaching on that 5-minute mark, include Phileas Flitwick, Gilderoy Lockhart, Hermione Granger, Neville Longbottom, and Harry Potter. Something interesting about the hat that I thought I would share is that JK Rowling had many other plans in mind for assigning students before eventually landing on the hat. In her words, the first was an elaborate Heath Robinson-ish machine that did all kinds of magical things before reaching a decision, but I did not like it. It felt at once too complicated and too easy. Her next idea was to placed 4 statues of the 4 founders in the entrance hall, which came alive and selected students from the throng in front of them while the school watched. Lastly, she wrote a list of the ways in which people can be chosen. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, short straws, chosen by team captains, names out of a hat, names out of a talking hat, putting on a hat, the sorting hat. And with all of that, that concludes the video.
If you guys have any further questions about the sorting hat, or if you have any ideas for videos that you'd like us to make, then please leave a comment down below. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, one can never have enough socks.